Hello, my name is Leo and Iduo, coming at you with another special episode of MisInformed. Today we'll kind of be covering two subjects. Really, I consider them one because I believe they are inextricably linked, and even if you could unlink them, why would you? French fries and fried chicken. Well, chicken in general, but come on. Come on. So, we've got ourselves a nice little foundation here. Fries were invented, as the name would imply. Well, invented, first mentioned, we'll say, because some people believe that they were likely invented in Belgium, but they were first mentioned in 1775. Hey, that's America, baby. In a Parisian book. So in 1795 they got the first official recipe for modern French fries. So pretty far back, let's say. Now, here's where things get interesting. Fried chicken was first recorded in the 1830s as an American English expression. Frequently appears then in the 1860s and 70s. But the origin of fried chicken has been traced to precedents back in Scotland and West African cuisine. Well, Scottish and West African cuisine. So it's a little bit debatable, but presumably it got to America because the Scots who had made it in the 18th century brought that tradition with them. That is the assumption. And in the same logic, it could have come from West Africa in the same way. Which one might have actually done it first? Hard to say. It could have appeared at roughly the same time. Sometimes reality's funky like that. But these two things came around at different times, but oh boy, it was a great decision, you know? It really was. It was love at first sight, one might say. But here's the thing. Why do they exist together? Let's think about it. Fried chicken, what is it? Crunchy. Sometimes it's juicy. What is French fries? Sometimes it got that crunch. Sometimes it's a little soft. Sometimes it's a little potatoey. A little bit dry, you know? Typically very dry, but sometimes it's got that moist. So, you might notice these things kind of share some traits, and they both can be made a little differently. Because of that, I believe that they are perfect to make together. Because if one is crunchy, you can make the other soft. Or if one turns out too soft, you can make the other one more crunchy to balance it out. So you can get an even distribution of texture, flavor, that type of thing. Not to mention, fries typically don't have that kind of like sauce or nothing. Fried chicken? Oh, that shit got sauce, brother. That shit got sauce. That shit's dripped out, brother. It is drowning in it. And it's got a packing that flavor punch. Fries, while still very flavorful, are a little more one tone, you know what I mean? Typically, you can season fries to wazoo, but typically they're a bit more one note so that it can balance out that flavor. It's all about balance. Now, you know what else is about balance? Meditation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Leo and Iduo. What does meditation have to do with fried chicken and French fries? And that's a great question, and I'll let you know. So, let's think for a second. Meditation balances the body, the mind, the spirit, the soul, if you would, everything about a person. The whole point is to look inside oneself and find balance, right? Great thing, noble goal. Would never try to diminish it. But, let's think. When you envision meditation, what do you see? For me, I see the lotus pose. You know what I mean? That shit. No offense, but got the finger doing this. Yeah, your legs crossed and shit. You can't see, but my legs, crossing. So that's what you envision. Now, some of that might be stereotypical, and I apologize, but that is what I envision, genuinely. However, well, look at this. Two hands in this posture, as though they could hold something. Now, what would they hold for perfect balance? fried chicken in one hand and the French fry in the other. Don't. No, hold on. Don't. I saw that. Don't you make that weird. Don't you make that weird. But you get what I'm saying. You hold the fried chicken in one hand, you take a bite. You take the fried fry in the other hand, and you take a bite. And you got some good shit going. And you could like dip them both because you got both hands, and you have balance of the spirit, balance of the mind, balance of the body, balance of the flavor that you trying to savor, baby. It's some good shizness, it. Just think about it. It makes sense. Not to mention, let's think about where it came from. West Africa and Scotland. What is big for Scotland? Well, when you think of fried chicken, what does it kind of look like? That's right. It kind of looks like a giant log. And you know what the Scots did? They threw some giant logs. They threw that shit like a motherfucker. And let's go back to West Africa. What is West Africa known for? That's right. General cuisine and spice. Like a motherfucker. Well, maybe I just care more about food. But you get what I mean. They got a lot of food. They got a lot of spice. A lot of different ways to make things juicy. You know, perhaps that's a contrast to like the more arid environment, but you get what I mean. They make shit juicy. Just think about it. It's the perfect medium to express something that you are proud of. West Africa wants to get that nice texture, that nice flavor packed into everything. The Scots want to represent their log throwing, I guess. It just makes sense. You toss that chicken wing. You toss that fried chicken in your mouth, and you go, that's some good shit. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. And French fries? Maybe that's the French. That's the Belgians. They out here competing for that shit like a motherfucker. What did the French do? They stole that shit from the Belgians. It's what they do best. It's French culture. Hey, baby. Don't, hey. If you're French, sorry. I'm gonna be real. My bad. But I got nothing else for that one. I mean, feel free to leave a comment down below what the French could really say about it. But they put their name on it. And you know what? Poggers. I guess. I don't know. But as far as I know, the Belgians made it, but the French published it. Yeah, they're publishers. That's what the French are. They're publishers. So take that as you will. But the Belgians, they came out here and they said, man, you remember when we made waffles and that shit was banging? What if we made something else that were also banging and will be remembered for the ages, baby? And they said, now, Belgium, calm down. You can't do two things, all right? You're getting out of hand. Relax, man, relax. And the Belgians said, watch me, baby. Is that a potato? And they were like, yeah, well, what the fuck are you going to do with a potato? It's a potato, man. I mean, yeah, they can sustain whole countries, but they're not exactly the most flavorful thing in the world. Come on, what are you going to do? Bake it? And they were like, well, yeah, idiot. Of course I'm gonna bake it. But then I'm gonna do something different for it. And they were like, what the fuck are you gonna do, Belgium? So they skin it, they bake it, they cut it all up, dice it, slice it, mice it. And they're like, okay, you've got diced potatoes, Belgium. Come on. You got weirdly diced potatoes. They're like long. That's weird. And Belgium was like, now you ain't gonna believe this next part. And they put that shit, they put the batter on it, they put the fry on it, they put it in the fryer, they put it in the deep fry, they put it in and then, magically, French fries. Does it show that I don't know how to make French fries? French fries. Boom. Beautiful. A beautiful thing, baby. Just a real culinary masterpiece, a real miracle of the kitchen. The Belgians, they took that shit to the bank. They went to the national bank and they said, may I get a loan for my Belgian fries? And the bank said, I mean, you clearly made these fries and shit, they're pretty good, but I don't think they're going to sell with a name like that. I'm sorry. I don't think we can give you the loan. And the Belgians were like, well, son of a bitch. This isn't what Belgians sound like, but it's the best I got right now. We're son of a bitch. What are we going to do? And then the French came in, and they were like, I'm French. French fralid, French salad, French sauce. It's such a good word to put in front of things. And then the Belgians were like, hey, shit, that's a pretty good word to put in front of things. Let's cut a deal, France. And the French were like, oh, what could you possibly offer me? And took a bite of the French fry, and they were like, oh, that's pretty good. I'll put my name on that, sure. And the Belgians were like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Let's fucking go. And so, French fries were made. The bank gave them a loan. They said, boom, boom, pow. Let's get it. And history as we know it, baby. That's all it was. And, of course, fried chicken. They got the French, the fried. See? Hear it, see it, feel it, taste it. That's what, that's what it's all about. The words go together. Fried chicken, French fry. French fried chicken, even. Look at that. Sounds great. That's what it's all about, baby. That's how it happened. That's to put that one in the history books. Write that shit down. Jot it down. Put that in your little notes. There'll be quiz later. You don't want to fail that quiz. Let me tell you something, Buster. But that being said, you've been misinformed or regularly informed. It's your call. My name's Leo and Iduo. It's been a pleasure, or Leoniduo if you're feeling a little saucy with it. And like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to share to all your homies. Later.